Hey there guys, I am SonicGhost and welcome back to some more Let's Play Mega Man Maverick Hunter X. Last time we made our way through 4 more Maverick stages here in hard mode, and now we're ready to take on Launch Octopus.
Launch Octopus!
Beginning mission.
So don't try to use flamethrower here, because you just make air. Flamethrower is useless underwater. You don't say. Hey, at least this game thinks about physics compared to some other video games. Cough Mario with fire underwater. I'm gonna charge up a Storm Tornado shot right here. Release it onto this said mini-boss because this little submarine will take a lot of damage if we use a fully charged up Storm Tornado. You do want to hit its little radar piece on the very top, because that will actually stop the boss from firing out little torpedoes. And you really want to do it for phase 2, because yes, you fight this thing twice in a row. This one specifically is a lot more dangerous because of the spikes. Nice big weapon energy refill, we'd love to see it. Now I'm actually going to select my flamethrower, because Fire Wave is going to be useful for one thing, and one thing only in the stage. The ship. Now back to Storm Tornado. We're gonna rack up the damage here on the head. Now hit the tail, do the same thing. Oh, I love killing myself when the boss is dead. That's the biggest problem fighting this guy, and I swear, I do that once a playthrough. Because you can't see where you're jumping down, it's very possible to jump in spikes. And as you see, the checkpoint is right before the submarine mini-boss, so I gotta fight this guy again. Thankfully, with Storm Tornado, it's not really that long of a fight, but it is still kind of annoying I have to do this again. Hey, we filled up a sub-tank, so I guess it was worth it? Question mark? Be careful this time to not immediately jump in the spikes when we finish the fight, because I would not want to do that. There we go. I'm gonna actually ride the boss down here a little bit so I can actually see where we're landing. This time to be a lot more safe. But there we go. Don't have to do this fight again, because now we got the heart tank, and now we'll stay saved, even if we do die. We don't plan on it, but just in case. So as you can imagine, Storm Tornado just wrecks this serpent enemy, just because of your hitting the boss multiple times with the Storm Tornado itself. And that is how we get the quick kill. That was very helpful. I didn't know the boss was that low in HP. So if you kill the serpent as it's going underground, you don't have to see the entire animation of its body falling apart. It will just instantly explode, which is really helpful. Speaking of helpful, Launch Octopus here is kind of the one boss that there's a caveat to what I said earlier of how we have all the weapons now to fight these Mavericks. Because this is not the weakness to Launch Octopus. However, it will make the boss fight a lot easier because using our boomerang cutter, we can cut off the excess tentacles here of the said Octopus. And now that causes him to only use these missiles to attack us. He can't use his little underwater tornado attack anymore. So, we can just blast away with a charge shot, which will destroy the missiles, and just stay away from the main body so we avoid damage. And that'll just make this fight infinitely easier. And that is Launch Octopus defeated.
Mission accomplished.
Love the echo effect when you're underwater in this stage. So now for defeating Launch Octopus, we got ourselves the homing torpedo. This is actually a pretty useful weapon for enemies above you, so you don't have to worry about aiming up. We might be using it here and there. But now it's time for us to fight our final Maverick, and if I played my cards right, we'll be getting ourselves our last set of upgrades here in Maverick Hunter X, along with a bonus upgrade for X. So let's jump into the Energy Mine Ruins.
Armored Armadillo.
I'm beginning the mission.
So, this stage specifically, you're going to be seeing me abuse Chameleon Sting here, so we don't have to worry about taking any damage. The gimmick of this stage is that for us to get a very specific upgrade for X, we need to go through the entire stage without taking a single hit. Not to mention, we need to 100% complete the game. At this stage, we have not 100%ed Maverick Hunter X. We are missing one more thing, but thankfully, it's in this stage. So, by the time we're done here in Armor Armadillo stages, we'll have all the hard tanks, all the sub tanks, and we already have ourselves all of the upgrades for X. So, all we gotta do at this point is just not get hit. Really don't want to deal with this mini boss here specifically. But now grab the heart tank, and now we've just gotten all the upgrades for X. So all that's remaining is our hidden upgrade at the very end of the stage. So I'm just gonna charge up one more Chameleon Sting for good measure, and that should do it. So just gonna make our way through this minecart section. Just wait a moment here before jump off at the end, and there it is. The secret upgrade for getting every single upgrade for X and not taking a single hit in Armor Armadillo stage. Honestly, handled much better in Maverick Hunter X compared to the original, but you have to play Armored Armadillo stage multiple times to get the Hidoken. Yeah, you don't have to kill yourself 4 times in this version to get the Hidoken, you just get it by playing the stage perfectly. It's a much better way of getting a Hidoken. Now, I won't be using the Hidoken for our first encounter here on Armor Armadillo, but for rematches for the Maverick specifically, we will be using the Hidoken against these guys. Now, let's be careful here not to stay in the center of the arena for too long, but after a couple rallies, our friend will reveal himself. But unfortunately, I missed my shot, so I'm just gonna wait this out. Electric Spark's really slow, which is why I don't like using it to fight a lot of different enemies. So we gotta be kind of close up, or just be mindful this thing takes a very long time to actually shoot. Thankfully, we can now hit Armored Armadillo when he's bouncing around, so we don't have to worry about waiting our turn to actually hit this boss. You do need to use this weapon, even if you're going to Hidoken the boss. You have to take away his armor. Possible to buster only this guy, but it's extremely difficult. That's the final Maverick. Now we're done with all the Maverick stages.
Mission accomplished.
And for defeating this Maverick, we get ourselves our final weapon, the Rolling Shield. Really helpful for enemies on the ground, which is mainly going to be good for things like Metools, for example, the enemies with helmets. But for defeating all the Mavericks, now we get to go over to the Sigma Palace stages, and we get to fight ourselves Boss Spider at the end. It's going to be a very long fight. Get it started.
I'm beginning the mission. Storm Tornado!
I want to be very careful here in the beginning, but I did want to hold on to that Storm Tornado charge, because this stupid submarine enemy is back, thankfully for the final time. I love having the health drop just immediately fall in spikes. I would have liked to have had that, thank you. Alright, so for this boss, I'm going to be using a Hidoken against it. And now it's done. The Hadouken makes every single enemy in Maverick Hunter X a joke because of the one-shot, but specifically the bosses are... yeah, they're a little too easy. This is why I'll use it just for the Mavericks. If you want to see a proper run-through without the Hadouken in general, my standard playthrough of X via the normal mode does a pretty good job at showing all the different strategy for fighting bosses, so I would still recommend watching the original series of this. It may be 8 years old at this point of at least filming this stuff, but it actually still holds up pretty well. I would like a health drop here so I can use my Hadouken against this next boss, but I'll hold my breath based on some of these pickups so far. Yeah, we don't have anything. How much do I have on it? I have full sub-tanks. I am not going to use a sub-tank for this. That would be a big waste. So I will fight this boss using the weakness instead.
Let's get this party started.
But thankfully, Homing Torpedo will do a lot of damage, and it also stuns this Maverick, so we won't really have to do too much but dodge. Unfortunately, every single Maverick in this game has a long set of iframes using their weaknesses like this, so it's gonna take a bit. Mark Mangel's the one exception because he's just funny. One more shot should do it. Nice homing torpedo. Again, with the iframes, it lasts a little too long on Boomerang Kwanger. Kind of annoying. And thankfully, we can just run through this room with invincibility, because no way I'm finding any of that stuff. Kind of a busy room, if you want to be honest. But here, charge up a Buster Shot, because now we're at the end of the stage and fighting the Boss Spider here. Boss Spider is actually weak to either the X-Buster or Shotgun Ice. So it doesn't matter which one you use. In some cases, you might want to use the Buster, because Shotgun Ice won't hit the little spiders on the floor. So this is where having the Buster would be a better idea. In this case, I won't have enough time to charge, so I'm going to swap over to Shotgun Ice. Use that. Now I'll swap back over the Buster and use this. And this is just the whole fight. In hard mode, this takes a lot longer, just because of the damage difference. So we're going to be here a good comfy while. Honestly, this is a boss I just recommend using a Hadouken, just to get a move on, because let's be frank, the boss itself isn't really that hard to fight once you know the gimmick. It's actually a pretty simple fight. It's more or less just pattern recognition, although the body hurts, so don't hit the boss spider body. It just drags. That's my biggest problem with Boss Fighter. It's just the longest fight in the game because it just drags. Or at least longest main boss fight. The final fight against Sigma is much longer than this, but it's a 3-stage boss fight. Alright, 2 more hits and then this thing will be defeated. Okay, 3 more hits because that one didn't count. Clearly didn't hit. There we go, that's Boss Spider defeated. And now with that boss done, we're gonna end the episode here. Next time on Let's Play Mega Man Maverick Hunter X, we're gonna be finishing up X's hard mode. Thank you guys for watching, I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next time.